Hello friends, Fairy Dazzle here, and I'm going to read you some stories. Let's see what I have in my library bag. I went to the Comox library and I got all these books. Friends, when I went to the Comox library, I got to check out all these 9 books by myself, and I got a receipt just as if I was at the store. Let's read Floaty by Himmelman. Mr. Raisin lived alone in a little house. Inside that little house, he loved to sew. Mr. Raisin didn't like anything else, only sewing. One morning, he found a basket at his front door. It had a note attached to it that read, "All yours, too much trouble. Good luck." Mr. Raisin brought the basket inside. It was empty. Oh, but look what was at the top. "Woof!" said something from above. Mr. Raisin looked up. A puppy was stuck to the ceiling. To the ceiling? "Get down from there," shouted Mr. Raisin. He nudged the dog with his broom. The dog slid across the ceiling and into the other room. Mr. Raisin climbed onto a chair and grabbed the dog. "Outside with you," he said. He opened the door. He was about to let the dog go, but he stopped. "You'll just float away, won't you?" Mr. Raisin brought the dog inside. "This doesn't mean you're staying," he said to the dog. "But I guess dogs need to eat, even annoying ceiling dogs." He put a bowl of cornflakes on the floor. Said the dog from the ceiling. "Oh, you can't come down?" Mr. Raisin tossed the cornflakes one at a time into the air. "You probably need water too," he said. The dog floated to the front door. He barked. "Blah!" complained Mr. Raisin. "I have to take you for a walk too." "Funny balloon," said Agnes Withers. "Not a balloon, a dog," barked Mr. Raisin. "Your kite needs a longer tail," said Mr. Poots. "Not a kite, a dog," said Mr. Raisin. "There goes nutty Mr. Raisin," said Mrs. Stringle. "Ah, blah," said Mr. Raisin. He went back inside. Mr. Raisin wasn't used to having company, but the dog stayed out of his way most of the time. "This dog is floating?" At night, he was a terrible blanket dog. Oh, he's almost creating a tent for Mr. Raisin. But as time went by, Mr. Raisin thought less and less about getting rid of the dog. I guess you'll need a name," he said. "I'll call you Floaty." Mr. Raisin chuckled at the silly name. He hardly ever chuckled. One morning when they were out for a walk, the leash snapped. Floaty floated away. Oh, Mr. Raisin! As Floaty disappeared into the clouds, Mr. Raisin realized how much he loved his dog. Floaty floated for days and nights. Back at home, Mr. Raisin sent up balloons carrying food in case his dog floated by. The food never found Floaty, but he didn't go hungry. Oh, look at Floaty! He's finding pizza. Mr. Raisin moved to his roof. He searched the skies day and night for his little dog. Floaty floated farther and farther away. Mr. Raisin climbed down from the roof. Floaty dreamed about home. It looks like Floaty misses Mr. Raisin, even though he was a bit grouchy. Mr. Raisin sat in his chair and sewed. One night, a big storm came along. Lightning and thunder exploded all around the dog. The dog must have been very, very scared. If I was a dog in thunder and lightning, I would find something to hide under and be shaking. Just then a voice called from overhead, "Up here, Floaty." Mr. Raisin lowered his freshly sewn hot air balloon and scooped up his dog. "Oh, bah," he said. "You're not much trouble. You're just the right amount of trouble." Isn't that what we all say about our dogs? They can be handfuls and challenging with their little escapades and sometimes getting lost, but we love them, don't we?